what's up? It's your girl, Justine.
And it's your girl, Vina Nunn.
And you already know, we the Antisocialites.
And where are we? We at Brick House. It's the third Sunday. Live podcast.
And we have our girl, our fellow Nordy girl.
A Nordy girl, yes.
Susan Kennedy, CEO and founder of Bullets for Life.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm great.
Clap it up for that.
Yes, I'm excited.
It's been such a journey, but we're so excited to see all of us have transformed into our true passion and what we're all meant to be doing.
It's crazy because as a creative, sometimes you find yourself doing different things, and most creatives end up in the retail world. But sometimes you lose that creativity being in there because you see the money and all those different things. And speaking of money, you were $1 million seller at Nordstrom. Like, I'm talking about she sold everything.
She was making money.
How were you able to give that up and then transition into...
I ask myself that every time. Everybody asks me that. But when God gives you a vision and it becomes a purpose, I have no choice. I just couldn't be that person anymore. Once these kids are dying every single day, I just couldn't sit at Nordstrom knowing that God, you have something better for me. You know what I mean? That's bigger than Nordstrom, that's bigger than me. So I have no choice. He wouldn't let me do anything else but what I'm doing now.
Wow, that's powerful.
Yes, I have no choice. It's my purpose. When your purpose calls you, you have to go get it. You have to go get it.
Don't let her tell you the story because she'll have you crying. Like,
I know I'm not going to
No, but I just learned the story about like how you transitioned out of Nordstrom, and that's crazy because, you know, when my ass was sitting upstairs, I was holding it down for the people that was like, this person doing me wrong. But you know what? It is what it is. And like you said, your purpose is your purpose. So tell us about Bullets for Life. Where did this idea come from?
yes.
So Bullets for Life came from, we're not going to cry today.
I'm not messing up
It's
my makeup.
Sunday fun day.
I'm making twice, all right?
It's Sunday fun day, y'all.
Having fun.
As less, emotional as possible. So Bullets for Life came from kids dying, like gun violence. Being a mom of 3, my kids are here with me. My older one is coming later. I have 3 boys. I have a 23-year-old, I have a 19-year-old, and I have a 13-year-old. So being a mom and the nurturer I am, I have a heart for people. I have a heart for kids. So when this young boy named Keon Hardemon was killed, I couldn't do anything else. I was at work and I was crying for this little boy. I mean, my head was hurting me. I was a top set and I could not take care of that customer that was standing in front of me because my mind was on this little boy that just got killed.
Okay.
So I remember sleeping, waking up crying, calling my pastors, like, why am I feeling the pain for a little boy I don't even know? I don't know the family, I don't know this little boy, but I was feeling the pain. So I reached out to the mom, her name is Monica Carter. I reached out to her and I'm like, what if I start taking bullets off the street? Because I want to know how a mom would feel if I walk up to them with a bullet.
Okay.
You know, a bullet took a child, so why would a mom want to have anything to do with a bullet? So when I explained to her, I don't know what God wanted me to do, but all I know, he kept telling me, donate a bullet, save a life. What does that mean? So I decided, I have my partner, he's here. I reached out to Mac, who does amazing stuff in the community. You guys can follow him. His name is Mac McCoy. He's my VP for the company. I reached out to him. And I said, God keep giving me this vision that I need to go out and get bullets off the streets. He does work in the community already, so he was like, let's do it. So we've been on the street since Keon Hardemon died, and then a couple months later, Jada Page died.
I know about that young lady. It was sad.
When she died, it hit me like like how Keon Hardemon hit me. And I got in contact with the mom. I went to the funeral. I didn't know that family. And I went to the funeral by myself. I was supposed to go to work. I went there instead of work. You know what I mean? I detour. I'm like, I have to go see this little girl. This pain I'm feeling for her. What is it? So I remember sitting in the top and looking up at this little girl in her casket and just crying. Just crying. And I spoke to a couple of people what God wants me to do. So I started following the family. I went to every meeting they had. There was justice for Jada everywhere. I was there. People just showed up.
Right.
I was just showing up. It was my calling. I'm like, God, what is this?
But that takes some inner strength to do that because you don't know them personally, but God told you, like, this is what your purpose is. Like, that takes strength to show up to a family's funeral.
So bold.
And some people never find their purpose.
No.
Especially with all of those worldly things that we have, like the money and being successful, like to give that up.
I give up a lot. You guys have been a sacrifice. You have no clue. It's like I have to start from the bottom to fulfill this purpose.
Right.
But this is my purpose, and that's what I'm willing to do. If I have to start over with a new house, a new car, whatever, it doesn't matter to me. None of those things matters to me, but this purpose God has given to me because it's changing lives.
Right.
We're saving lives. Taking a bullet from someone is saving their life and changing their mindset. Because one less bullet is one less life taken by gun violence. Over 1,000 bullets came off the street of Miami. 1,000 bullets.
Wow, that's amazing. And that's just through Bullets for Life.
Just through Bullets for Life. Myself and my partner.
Yes.
We walked the street. Like you said, I became the boldest woman in the world. If I can walk up to anybody and ask them for a bullet, who does that?
And you're asking for bullets that they own, not just to go buy a bullet, right?
Don't go buy me no bullet. You have a bullet.
Yeah.
Everybody have a bullet. There's kids, we're losing our kids one bullet at a time. So Bullets for Life is showing one love, one bullet at a time. By taking that bullet away from that person, changing the way they think, saving lives. You know?
Yeah.
And how have people been receptive to this? Like, I know that Redman was one of your first. Method Man. Okay, yes. Method Man. Sorry, Redman. I'm giving you credit where you don't deserve just yet. But Method Man was one of the first people to get behind your cause.
That was a beautiful thing because this man, I met him at North Shore as a matter of fact.
Oh,
and
no.
I think that's why I almost got fired, Method Man, because they heard that he was at the job. And I got so bold about it. I spoke to him about, what do you think? This is before I started it. What do you think if I started taking bullets off the streets? You
Okay.
know, I already have a couple. What do you think? And he was like, yo, that's a dope idea. You saving lives, yo. He was like, I'll be in New York tomorrow. Here go my email. Email me your email, and I'm going to donate to your cause.
Wow.
He was the first person, celebrity, that donated to my cause.
That is
with
nice.
no problem. Because
Nice.
he's seen it before he see the big picture of us saving lives.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Too many kids are dying. You know?
Listen, I can agree with that only because I'm from Philadelphia where the murder rate is way too high. And how people feel about life, like is the dollar amount they put on a life right now or no dollar amount at all, like they don't care. Like it's really sad.
But it's been a lot of young kids getting killed in Miami
straight
though.
bullets.
You know that we have gone to funerals. Like I show up to these funerals for these kids. Only God. I don't know where I get this, but I cry. I cry every time because there's more kids attending funerals now than ever before. I know there was a young boy named Isaiah that was killed at a funeral. At a funeral. You guys have to look at that story. His mom is still hurt.
Wow.
Angry about it. He was killed at a funeral. His cousin died, who was around his age.
Oh,
He
wow.
attended the funeral and shot up the funeral and killed his little boy. So it's like these kids have no heart. Like we don't know where it's coming from. What is happening in that home? That your child could go and kill another child.
And when we say kids, we mean like dang near under 16. Like
young.
it's not even like, because you say you from Philly, I'm from the Bay Area. It's usually kids that are like 18, 19 that have access to guns. But when we talk about these kids in Miami, we're talking about like a 3-year-old, a 5-year-old, like the drive-bys that been going on. Like it's.
Do you know what it is? Parents are showing these people is showing their kids guns too early, and then when these kids they're not mentally ready to know about a gun. You know what I mean? I'm not against someone having a gun or protecting themselves. I'm not against anybody protecting themselves if it's legal.
Right.
It's a senseless gun violence that's happening.
Right.
These kids don't need no guns. What are they doing with guns? We need to find a way. That's what Bullets for Life is trying to do. We want to be so big that we can get programs for them. Because once I take that bullet from you, what happened after that?
It sparks a conversation.
We change the way they think. Now, I'm going to take that from you. Where are we going to put you now? Where can we play? What program can we put you in?
What do you like to do? What are you interested in? How can I help you?
Like Mac always say, how can we turn them into employers instead of employees?
Gotcha.
Let's train them. Let's rethink. Let's retrain our children. Because whatever's happening at home is happening in the streets.
Exactly.
Because kids are having kids. Kids are bringing kids up.
So we talk about the Bullets for Life, and we talk about, but what about the young people that are committing suicide?
That's it. Woo! Ooh, you hit on the subject that's touching right now because I want to be able. It's just two of us doing this, and my mom, my family support us big time. But I want a community to come together and start going after, knocking on doors, going to school, because that one person that you speak to might be that one person's life who's saved from suicide, from being bullied at school. You know what I mean? That they want to take a gun to school because somebody just bullied them.
Right.
What if we touch them before they pick up that trigger, before it gets to that point? Because it's getting to that point every single day. We have stopped so many people from killing each other. A guy gave me three bullets with names on it.
Wow.
Yes, that's how I know this is going to work. It had names on the bullet. Not even not names, but he said there's names on that bullet because I had an altercation and I'm angry and I want to kill these people.
Damn.
That's kind of
powerful.
intense. Like,
Every single day. But we was able to get to him before he take that anger out there. And we
Wow.
was able to pray. It's becoming a ministry because we're able to pray into your life. Because now he had a baby. His life has changed. He's happy.
He's a happier person.
He's wearing one of our bracelets.
That's
we can
awesome.
talk about it. But I want us to follow up all the time. You know,
I think
you
that'd be
have
a
to
great
follow
follow-up.
up. You have to follow because we may take that bullet from them, but the person that they angry with could be thinking the same thing. Like, how are we gonna protect them? So we gotta pray so hard so that person don't come out thinking once I take that bullet from them.
So the difference between you and another nonprofit is that you're actually making connections with the people that you're taking the bullet
We're
from.
making connections.
You're following up.
Yes, we have to follow up.
and then on top of that, you're taking that bullet and you're not just holding it or putting it in a canister. You're making jewelry with it, and then you are presenting that to the world.
Speaking
where-
of the jewelry, we
Yeah.
iced out right now.
I'm gonna say, I'm feeling lit.
This is life, y'all.
Yeah, so
I got 9mm, a 35mm. What's this?
so
I don't know.
this a big one.
I know, I
So
know.
let's talk about it.
It's
So
a 38.
bullets for like you on the street, but also like tell us about the vision of the jewelry and all of
Let me
that.
tell you guys how this came about. So we have endless bullets, 1,000 bullets. I'm talking about bullets. This is nothing. This is nothing. This is just something that's been donated lately to us that I haven't taken apart yet. So we said, okay, what are we gonna do with all these bullets? I knew I wanted to do something beautiful with it. God gave me something, but I didn't know what it was. And you know, I never made jewelry in my entire life. I sold men clothes.
Yes.
I dressed men for a living.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what jewelry, how to put jewelry together. But when, like I said, when God gives you a purpose, He already open those doors. He already open your mind. He already placed all this stuff.
Listen,
Okay,
girl,
You
listen.
guys know. You just gotta walk through that door because
Yeah,
He
keep
already,
going.
He already set the pathway for you. You just gotta walk through. And trust me, there's gonna be sacrifice because the devil will attack you because this is so big. The devil don't want us to go out there to minister to people and save their lives because we're dying every day. And that's what he wants. Because what's happening is demonic spirit. For kids to be killing kids is a demonic spirit. So when I started this, we take the gunpowder out ourselves.
Okay.
Right? We take the primer, we clean these bullets ourselves. And then we clean it off, make sure there's no gunpowder, because when you put it on, I want it to blow up or nothing.
Oh
like,
shit.
No, that's not
I'm
happening.
popping for real.
Oh, you
We don't want that. So I decided to turn them into something beautiful. Something that people can wear and think about that life that you just saved. Not only, it's not about the beauty, like look how beautiful that is.
That is beautiful.
Slide that one on his hand.
So I made this for a friend of mine, so I saw her today with it. I'm like, I'm going to the
No, that is
section.
beautiful.
Let me wear your bracelet.
Of course.
So it's beautiful. It's rose gold. It's gorgeous. So
I got my eye on about 3 of them.
yeah. So I decided to make something beautiful around that life
Okay.
because now it's a life, and life is beautiful. And this may pop, this may break because it's handmade. I sit at home and I make them, but that bullet is still gonna be there. And you can always call me, be like, my bracelet pop. But as long as you have that life still, I can always fix that. But you still hold that life.
Right. It's a purpose behind it.
Purpose.
Yeah.
So
Dang.
we repurpose for a purpose.
I love
And
it.
it's to save lives.
I love everything
And
about
you
it.
have the nice necklaces, the choker, all of that. Yeah.
Everybody's lit.
We have all this stuff going on. Then we have a lot of great stuff.
And people can contact you and have you come. Like, let's bring the bracelets out in more
Come on,
detail.
my VP, come on. This is Alex.
Shout out to the business partner,
We
right?
got drink down, though.
Hey. Yeah.
Bullets for life. Donate a bullet, save a
Save a
life.
life.
Yeah. So I saw you incorporated like
Hard.
different. Yeah, the
Yeah, because
heart.
I want it to mean something. The bullet means something, but to wear it, I want it to be beautiful too.
Right.
I'm all about, I'm all about fashion, being in the North.
We know that for sure.
We know. So I want it to be something beautiful.
And necklaces
So,
as well.
Beautiful necklaces. It looks like a nail polish. So my son came in, he's over there, he's like, Mom, that looks like a nail polish. I'm like, that's it.
That's the name.
Wow. Comes to my head. You know
Gotcha.
what I mean? Every day.
And everybody's working. The family, the mom, everybody's working.
Oh, you can, yeah, show. See, we got people looking already. What's good? Yeah. So yeah, I mean, so people can go on the website and purchase?
I have my website. The website is not quite set up for the accessory yet. It's just telling you about Bullets for Life. But you can go on Instagram.
Okay.
At bulletproof_accessories. So this is called Bulletproof Accessories. It's the evidence of taking bullets off the streets.
Amazing.
Proof. So the accessories is the evidence. This is the evidence of taking
Yeah.
Bullets for Life is what we do in the community. It's what we do by going doors to door. We walk the streets. We do team summits. We go to meetings. We show up at funerals. We just want to show love one bullet at a time by taking that bullet from someone.
Of course.
And not only is the streets giving us bullets, but people that carry gun legally, they're donating for the purpose.
Right.
Because to bring awareness to what's happening. Because tomorrow is not promised to anybody.
No.
We just lost a 2-year-old yesterday.
I saw you.
I didn't know until I saw your post about it. Like, that's just like...
To a stray bullet. What if we had got to that person? But only 2 of us. And we've been to where that baby lived. We've been to that area. We've done peace walk there. We've been everywhere. You guys know. For a year straight, I've been consistent. I would go anywhere. I would show up. We show up anywhere.
Right.
So we've been to that area. So what if we had got to that child, that person that shot, that fired those guns and hit 2 people, including our baby? What if we had took that bullet and changed his mindset? But it needs more than just us.
Right.
We
Everybody.
need commissioners. We need mayors. We need community leaders to really know this means something to the community.
And I feel like every person that purchases or that you give a bracelet to or a necklace, whatever, is gonna carry your message with them. Because when I see somebody, they're gonna ask me, "What is that?" And I'm going to tell them.
And go all in.
Yeah.
But you guys have to know, with a purchase, I've given more than people purchase because I'm a giver. You know, I've been given no matter what, I'm a giver. But what we do, once one is purchased, one is given to a mom or a dad or a survivor of gun violence.
Wow.
Because if your fight wasn't against gun violence before, lose a child, and that's all it's going to be.
It's amazing.
That's all. And I have the love that I have for these moms that lost their kids. I want to do something amazing for them on my birthday, March 23rd.
Wait a minute. That's our Win Women.
That's right around the time when we do Win Queens Link.
Right.
Remember you came last time and supported us. We're going to do it again, so let's make it bigger this time.
Let's do something big.
Yes.
Let's figure it out.
Let's figure it out. Do it together. It needs to be because these moms are hurting every single day. I want to give them one day of just highlighting their
This would be dope.
Yes.
This would be
Good
dope.
idea.
Excited?
Let's totally do that. Yeah, we already got the date
Our
locked in.
date was the 31st, but maybe throughout the week.
But my birthday's the 22nd. I plan to do it the weekend of my birthday.
Okay, dope.
So we want them, God has been talking to me. I don't know yet. I'm just putting it out there.
Okay.
We're going to figure it out. It's already.
Right? So we need sponsors. We need donors. We need donate bullets. Donate money. Let's help. Let's spread this for the mom. Let's do this for the mom.
Okay.
You know what
Amazing.
I mean?
Yeah,
So,
most definitely.
Yes, I'm not gonna stop, guys.
No, for sure. We love what you're doing.
I know you love it from when we spoke at the
I
restaurant.
literally broke down on the middle of the men's collection floor, and I was like, why am I crying? This is why I'm crying, because it's real. And I totally understand it. And I think a lot of people are frustrated with what's happening right now. But in order to keep this message going, please, I know you gave your social media for Bullets for Life, the accessories. Let them know how to find you.
Yes. And so we have the accessories, which is bulletproof_accessories. We have Bullets for Life, BULLETS_for life, LIFE. So don't forget for life, Bullets for Life.
Okay.
So it's all about life. We also have Alex. Could you tell them your Instagram so they can follow you too?
Come close to the talking to the mic a little bit.
Instagram.
Not my
MACCZUMF.
Okay, we gotta make sure you get that link. And I also want you to shout out where you from?
Okay, so we are originally from Guyana.
Hey, you better be from Guyana. I'm an honorary Guyanese. My boyfriend's from Guyana, and I went there last year. Yeah,
We all went there last year.
Yeah, she went too.
Yes, she was there summer originally from Guyana. I grew up in Brooklyn, Crown High, so and now I live in Hollywood. So yes, I'm Guyanese. Guyanese doing this. Yes.
All right.
She loves love her Guyanese.
I do. He in the back selling his game too.
Listen, it's been real. It's been very good. We're out.
We out. Yes. Thank you, Susan, for coming through.
Thank you so much
Make
for
sure
having me,
you
my
check
naughty
out.
girls.
Yes, Naughty Girls. Make sure you check out her cons and support and
Retail
purchase.
did not kill us.
No, it just inspired us.
Retail inspired us to do more. Oh, I love it. That's another book. That's something. That's a whole nother organization.
Yes, yay!
All right, thank you.
I got the world on my back, city on the map, no time to kick back.
What's up? You are joining us during Sunday Fun Day at Brick House. It's your girl, Just Fee.
And it's your girl, Vina Nine.
And we are here with Miami City Commissioner
Very
Chairman
own. Yes.
Keon Hardemon. How are you
Bring on
doing?
the city for
Can't
real.
complain.
We said when community links, we meant that.
Yes, we're bringing everybody out, from the activists to our politicians to other podcasters that talk about political events. But this guy right here, like,
Real deal.
yeah.
How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing
doing
good.
good.
I can't complain. The community served me well, and all I want to do is serve it back. So, I can't complain about anything going on in the city of Miami.
So, for the people that don't know, the district that you represent, which district is that?
District 5, so we represent different communities. So I represent Little Haiti, Overtown, Wynwood,
Okay.
Upper East Side, the Zion District, Liberty City, a lot of those different places.
Our inner city, basically.
Yeah,
where
really.
where it's
we're-
real at.
Exactly. That too.
Okay.
But the City of Miami Commissioner is someone who represents the entire city. But I'm elected from that group of people.
Okay, awesome. So, where did your career start into politics? Did you go to law school? Like, how did this all become?
Well, becoming an elected official is very simple.
Okay.
You just have to be elected. That's
Okay.
it. So every elected official is not a lawyer. I am. I think it helps me in what I do because it helps me with legislation. It helps me understand issues, complex issues, break them down, and come up with different solutions that matter. But you do not have to be a lawyer to be an elected official.
Okay, I think that's a misconception,
Yeah.
especially with like our generation because of what's going on now with who's our president. But we always think that the person has to be like, not I'm gonna say qualified, but like has to go through like bachelor's, master's, doctorate, and all that. But the understanding, I think, is probably more valued than anything of what's going on in your community. Would you say, or no?
I would agree. I mean, you could be a high school dropout and be an elected official.
Okay.
So I'll make that very clear. Your education can help you, but it's not something that you necessarily have to have. So we budget, for instance, right? So you want to understand finances and budgeting. You understand. We write law, so you should understand how to read, how to write, how to comprehend things, and that's why I
Gotcha.
think being a lawyer helps you. But to me, what matters the most is your heart, the way you put it. If you care about your community and you want to see positive things happen in your community, that's what matters most. And if you can instill that pride into your neighborhood, then you can make your community a better place.
So when did you know that this is something that you wanted to do?
I've always known I wanted to serve. I mean,
Okay.
ever since I was in elementary school, I did things to help
Are
my
you a part of
community.
SBA?
Of course.
Are you the president at Alpha Phi Alpha?
I wasn't, okay. I was, in college I was.
First Sam Love here.
Right.
I'm sorry.
In college I was Senate president, but in Alpha, because I was doing so much outside of the chapter, I didn't do much on the inside as far as leadership positions.
Right.
But I was what you would call a parliamentarian. So
Okay.
that goes along with law.
Right. Yeah.
and
Laying down
rules
the
and
law, make
such.
sure it's structured.
Right. So I was always headstrong about understanding how things work and how to make systems work better. So
And you're originally from this area?
Miami.
So
Liberty
born and
City,
bred.
Born and raised.
Okay.
Came back. Exactly.
So that kind of like built you to understand the community even more. Like it's the district you serve, it's where you're from.
It's important that you are from the community that you serve because I think you get to know the people more. And sometimes people can be disassociated with people, especially if you're from a different place, if you have a certain level of education and you represent people who are poor, who are black, who are brown, you can feel disconnected. And so unless you are from those people, I think you're gonna have a more tough time understanding what they see and how they see things.
I'm sorry. I think a lot of people wanted like police officers to be from the community that they actually worked in so that they can understand the environment. Did you agree with that?
I would. I mean, my mother was born in Scott Projects, raised in Liberty City, and she represented and was a police officer in this community. So I think it calms you down. You understand the tendencies of people. You know the people better. I mean, just yesterday, someone was talking to me, and he was just like praising my mother for all that she's done. He served time in federal prison, and so the respect that someone who's already served time has for law enforcement just because she's from this area.
Right.
It means something.
You would think it'd be such a simple concept,
Right.
but it's not really like executed as much. I feel like, I mean, maybe because of corporate structure and like, you know, job placement and all that. I don't know. I just feel like sometimes it's too hard to communicate to people that we need people who live in the community to serve the community.
I want to do more to encourage police officers from our neighborhood to patrol our neighborhoods. In Miami, we get a lot of people from Broward or from further down south, and they just come here to police and they go back home. And I think that's not a good mix for community relations, you know?
Yeah.
It's important that if you value who lives in the homes next door to you, if you value those streets, and you'll stop and go the extra mile to help someone in the community. Not all police officers take that extra mile, and it's a sad thing because that's what we really need in our neighborhoods. We need people that respect us and that respect our neighborhoods. And I think if you have police officers that live next door to someone, they would treat them with more respect than they would if they just drive through the neighborhood.
Aside from that, you are you're youthful. You know, you still. I saw you dancing on one of those stages at one of the events that you were at. You was getting that woo with it. Like, how important do you think that relationship is to the community? Like, and being able to do those things when you're at those events.
I just be me.
Okay.
I think it's important for elected officials to be themselves.
Because some people, like, they put on that suit or they get that title and then they change into somebody else, and then it's like people like kind of disattached. They're not attached anymore. Or
let me explain something to you. Being an elected official, especially in a place like Miami, is delusional. You meet people who are multi-millionaires, multi-billionaires, who all want to pull on you to say, please help me, please do this. They invite you everywhere. They want you to do everything with them. They show you so much favor. And I personally believe that if you don't keep your feet planted on solid ground, you become taken away by that. And you end up not serving the people that you were elected to serve. And so that's why I always try to stay connected with the people. That's why I always try to stay relatable. You know, I want your phone call to get to me faster than the multi-million-dollar developer, because that person is not going to stay in my community. They're here, they make their dollar, and they leave. But then it's us that's caught and left holding the bag. You know, I live in my neighborhood. I live down the street from my grandmother's house.
Oh, dope.
You know, so I'm here, and I want when I'm done with this position to be able to walk down the street to my grandmother's house.
Do you guys? When I say you guys, do fellow politicians from other areas, do y'all ever get together? Because you just touched on Miami is one of those cities where it's full of lights. It's full of entertainment. It's full of money. We see what's coming to the city. Do you feel like do you get some feedback from other commissioners or even elected officials that kind of look at the city like, wow, like, what are you guys doing?
It's very interesting because there's so many elected officials just in South Florida. I mean, there's so many people that you wouldn't ever expect. You would never know. And you could be in a room full of people, and 100 of them will be elected officials. But the people that they know are the ones from Miami, the ones from Miami Gardens, the ones from Miami Beach.
Speaking of Miami Gardens, we helped out there.
You know, so this is what they know. But this is where all the action is happening.
Yeah.
You know, we're the biggest city in Florida, and so it comes with a lot of prestige. It comes with a lot of power. But it also comes with a lot of negative attention. So, you know, a lot of young people look at these positions and say, man, I want to do that, I want to do that. But you get caught up into what it looked like, and you don't understand what the service is or what the sacrifice is in being in a spot like this.
It's a lot of hard work.
I think in general the work part gets lost in translation just with this generation as far as whatever you're trying to do. It's like, oh, I want to be a brain surgeon, but I only got to go to school for 4 years.
Yeah.
Not possible.
No, that's not happening. Wow. So let's lighten it up a little bit.
Right.
Let's get into hip hop. What are you listening to right now?
It's funny, man. I listen to Pandora mostly, so I don't buy a lot of music, but I don't pirate music either.
Yeah, I don't either.
That's good.
Yeah. My XM radio just went out, so I gotta re-up on that.
Okay.
But
Hey, that's good.
I actually like 80s, 90s music more than anything.
Okay.
So I like the old school slow songs, you know, 12 play, stuff like that. That's my speed.
Stay away from R. Kelly.
Nah, man. That's my speed.
No, but I ain't gonna lie. Like, R. Kelly's one of the good. So, any concerts,
I don't do a lot of concerts. I have gone to some concerts. I mostly see them if I go to a club and I see them at performing at clubs.
Okay,
such as, like, them on Sunday.
Because it happens all the time in my it's accessible to us.
Right.
Yeah.
I've never been a live concert type fan unless it's something that's soulful. If it's something that's soulful and it's intimate, I want to be there.
Okay.
But if it's a big major event where everyone wants to be in the place, I don't like it.
Soulful.
You saw that shout out of him on the BET Hip Hop Awards?
Oh yeah, we were there.
We were there
On the big
We
screen.
saw it on the big screen, then I watched it on the TV screen. So like, you're definitely becoming a household name, even though you want to be connected with the people. Like, what are next steps, or if there are any?
I mean, I was just reelected to my position for another 4 years.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. You know, I didn't have any opposition, so to me, that's the community saying that we support you because they could encourage someone else to run, and that person can challenge me, and they could win or not win.
Right.
But for me, it's just focusing on what I have to do left in this seat. There's a lot of work to be done. There's a lot of things that we left on the table that we need to finish over these next 4 years, although we've accomplished quite a bit of stuff. So, you know, it's just a matter of doing the best I can in this spot. And then from there, you look at your possibilities, you look at what opportunity is next. But I think you have to stay focused on what you're doing in order to create the best result.
Yeah.
And then the moment you start looking past, you know, your position, you're distracted.
Stay
so you don't want to be
focused.
distracted. Right.
What's one thing about your district that you'll say that stands out the most? Like, what about the people makes your district so unique?
The reason you see me dance so much is because it's the people. It's the love out of the people. People think that a place like, for instance, where I'm born and raised, Liberty City, is a place that's scary to be in. And it's really not.
Probably a lovely place if you're from the
scary
neighborhood.
people are coming to the neighborhood, that's all.
Right.
So you get intimidated. But if you know the people, then you have a good time. You see the guys who have wicks and dreads and tats all over their face and a mouth full of gold mouths, they're some of the sweetest guys that you could ever meet.
Nothing to be
You know what I
scared
mean?
of.
It's just-
Anything for you, or
Exactly.
some of the most that participate in whatever it is that you have or bring into the community.
Right, and they'll make sure whatever we're doing is safe because they respect what you're doing in the neighborhood. And I think a lot of people get that confused. They think that just because you see a guy standing on the corner, that he's a problem. Well, he might not be a problem. He might be protecting the corner.
Right.
You don't think he's just not selling drugs because he's standing on the corner. That's where he wants to stand.
And you have the right to be wherever you want to be.
Unless you're selling drugs on the corner.
Yeah, not that. No. We ain't standing for that.
Yeah.
Not for that.
All right, well, you know what? We appreciate you coming and showing us love and giving us more information about what you stand for, your community, and all that. Because Vina and I pride ourselves in trying to, like, cover what's going on in the community outside of just entertainment.
Right.
So that's why we invited you, because we want our audience to understand, like, what's really going on in Miami.
Listen,
And we
I'll
want
come.
people to see.
I'll come anytime.
These
I'll
products.
come anytime, especially when there's big topics that's going on in the community. A lot of things people don't understand because it's lost in translation and how the people view it versus what we're doing in the city of Miami. So for instance, I know you all were interested in the red light cameras. Those are no more in the city of Miami, right? So everyone who's ever gotten a ticket from red light cameras in Miami and paid it or afforded it and lost it and then paid it.
Okay.
I get my money
won't
back.
Well, you won't get your money back. No.
Nah. You just gotta start fresh.
That money's gone. That money's gone.
Camera ticket that it wasn't my fault.
Right.
But whatever. But how can more young people get involved in what's going on in the community?
Just show up. If you see an event, especially if it's something I'm having, just show up and walk up to me and say, hey, I want to help. And immediately I'll put you to work.
Y'all heard that. He'll put you to work.
Yeah.
Get ready.
Yeah.
All right.
Social media handles, websites. How can people get in contact with you?
You can contact me at Keon Hardemon, so that's KeonHardemon. So that's my Instagram, that's my Facebook, that's my Twitter. And then of course you have the city website, which is miamigov.com.
All right, amazing. You heard it straight from Keon Hardemon.
They eat like I eat. I don't put you above me cause you gotta judge how I sing.
What's up? It's your girl Vina 9.
And I'm Just Peace.
And you know we are the Anti-Socialites. Every third Sunday we are at Brick House doing our live podcast. This week, When Community Links. And we have a community activist, a lady community activist, Miss V.
Hey, everybody.
Hey.
How are you?
You deal mostly with the homeless, correct?
Yes.
Tell us about what it is that you do in your business or your company.
So I'm the founder and director of Make the Homeless Smile, Miami and Atlanta.
Oh.
We do major food outreach programs to homeless individuals throughout both cities. Also, we help try to prevent famine in low-income communities. So we oftentimes provide groceries or fill in gaps when it comes to food and certain personal hygiene products and clothes for families across different communities.
Oh, amazing.
I personally really saw what you were doing during the hurricane.
Yeah, me too.
I was like, wow, she's really in there, feet on the ground in the community, making sure that everybody eat, not just the homeless, but the whole community.
Right.
There was a little backlash with that, or people didn't give you the credit that was due.
Yeah, it was less acknowledgement that should have been given.
And I feel like it's already hard enough to do the things that I'm doing. Like,
Right.
I don't even want the credit, but the least you could do is not even acknowledge me, but help me. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know, I was getting backlash for different reasons. One, because I'm so radical in the way that I was moving and shaking. People like don't think I'm like as organized as they would like me to do, but I just feel as if people waste a lot of time, like in meetings, talk about strategy and everything. And I was like, let's get the grill, let's go to the meat store, let's feed people because people hungry now, and that's just how I move. And I'm always in my community. I don't wait for just an event or a disaster. So I'm always like present, so they always know to call me. Like people were calling me to the community because they call me year round when they're hungry and they need food, or you know, the mother just needs to make it to the 30th. Like that happens every day in my life. Like I've been up since 5 o'clock this morning.
Wow.
Feeding people.
We have you out here. We're sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. And you know, so when the hurricane hit, it was just like I knew that our government wasn't going to move fast enough. I knew that other people would just take all this time and try to do all this planning and strategies. And people were hungry. People went into the storm hungry in my community. So I knew to respond quickly, and I just did it that way, and it just like caught like fire. And then, you know, with the whole thing of not being acknowledged or whatnot, I don't really worry about it because the people in the community acknowledge me.
Right.
They know who's coming and showing up or whatnot, and that's just what it's going to be, because even if the other people who tried to get acknowledgement, for them to get to the community, they still had to come see me, so.
Exactly. And what communities were hit the hardest when it came to hurricane?
Well, you know, Miami didn't really take much infrastructural damage.
Okay.
What we suffer more from is just like the social ills that we already face. So I always say that climate is a threat multiplier.
Okay.
So like, you already have a food desert, you already have high crime, you already have lack of employment, lack of housing, and all of these things already happening on an everyday basis. And when the storm hit, it made everything 10 times worse.
Gotcha.
So I knew that the first thing would be is feeding people. Like a person can't think, they can't function, they can't do anything if they're starving. So I felt as if communities like Little Haiti, Liberty City, Alapata, Little Havana, Opa-locka, certain parts of Miami Gardens and North Miami, Florida City Goulds, Big Pine Key, and Key West down in the Keys. Those were the areas that have a lot of low-income communities, and they're suffering from these social ills that I knew that needed the help. So those are the ones I responded to.
Wow.
What community do you represent solely? Like, where you from?
I'm from Liberty City. I still live in Liberty City. I love Liberty City to death. However, I know that any low-income community in my hood, like where's black and brown people, especially poor black and brown people, that's where I'm supposed to be. So I don't let language block me from going to serving. I don't let culture block me. Like, I'm African American. I'll be all up and through Little Haiti. I'm all in Little Havana. I'm all in Alapata. And, you know, when I got there, like, they, you know, in Little Havana, they're like, mommy, because they used to seeing me. Like, I respond to Little Havana. I respond to Little Haiti year round. So I knew where to go. I knew who to respond to. But I'm from Liberty City. I love living there. I don't think I'm ever going to move. However, I think it's still my responsibility to respond to all of my communities. Like, I'm Miami born and bred, and I make sure I take care of the entire Miami county line to county line. But on top of that, you know, any hood in America is me. Like, when I go to a city, I go to the hood. I don't care if it's the black people hood, the Latino hood, the Haitian hood, the African hood. Right. Like, I don't feel at home until I'm in the hood. You know, I don't eat till I get to the hood, because that's where the culture at, that's where the people at.
And that's where the good food
So, exactly. So, I just make sure that, you know, our communities just always have a friendly face. I humanize people, and I just try to fill in the gap without all the red tape, you know?
Do you feel like most people think that way? Because living down here, I feel like sometimes people do segregate the communities and decide where, especially from the government side, who's gonna, like, I heard Coral Gables wanted to sue the government for not coming to them first. And it's like, do you find that there's many people that think like you, like, I'm gonna help everybody?
No.
Especially down here.
Not at all. Miami is diverse, but then we're separated and segregated.
That's what yeah.
And at the end of the day, I had to, like, especially across the black diaspora, I have to explain to people, like, when the police pull us over to kill us, they're not asking, like, what island you came from, how much education you got. how much you make or whatever, they look at that one thing, your skin color, right? And then even as an immigrant, right, across the whole diaspora, they're not asking if you came from Cuba, Dominica, Dominica, whatever country you came from. Right, they're not caring about that. You're an immigrant. Like, that's how this country sees you. So I don't think like that. I try to like wipe that away from me, and I try to like make sure people who are around me think the same way.
Okay.
I'm black, right? And I'm black as and I'm black all the time, but at the end of the day, you know, only thing different between me and the person who grew up in the DR is the slave ship stopped a little earlier.
Say that.
That is it. You know what I'm saying? So I think about all that. I try to support everybody. And all of us are facing the same social ills. So I will hope that more people start crossing sectors and crossing boundaries and whatnot. And there's a lot to do. So I just try to be the catalyst for that.
Now, how do people get in reach with you or contact with you so that they can be a part of the movement?
Definitely follow me on social media, because I suck. You know how some people like have listservs, they send out emails and stuff. I suck at that. So just follow me on my Facebook and my Instagram. That's what I be on the most.
Okay.
And you just find out things like when I had 300 volunteers moving with me during the hurricane.
Amazing.
And that was all from social media. Like, I just send out personal emails and all that stuff. I don't do any of that corporate stuff. I don't do all this background checks and everything. I give simple rules. When we go out, you treat people how you want to be treated, and we get out there and serve the community. It's very grassroots. It's very raw and uncut. It's always so surprising when like big media companies or big corporations come to partner with me, and they're like, "So where you building?" I'm like, "No, we're gonna be outside in the corner." Like,
we in the streets for real.
Right. And they were like, "Wait, people just set up right here." I'm like, "Yeah, right here on the sidewalk. My taxes pay for this. I can set up right here."
Yeah.
And I don't get much pushback from the government, but it's just always surprising when people who are used to having like so much structure, right, and they come out and they don't necessarily understand, but they leave with such a good, positive attitude. And the fact they do, they didn't need a lot. You don't need a lot. It don't take all these rules and regulations and strategy. It takes for you to stand up, give a little bit, and show up.
Right,
and I think all that work.
And I think that prevents a lot of people be up in their head too much, like,
Right.
oh, I gotta do all this before I can go out and actually touch people. And you're showing that you just need to do it.
Right, just need to do it. That's it. That's how I move with everything that I do. From back when I did my relief for the Haiti during the earthquake, to when I did my Flint outreach, when I took up my 18-wheeler up to Flint, Michigan. It was just like, let's go. Like, I didn't even know anybody in Flint. Like, I met people, and I got there. We passed out every gallon, every bottle of water in the hood. Like, we was hanging out the back of an 18-wheeler. Right. So that's just how I roll. Like, take me to the hood. I know I'm there when I get there because of how I feel, because all hoods feel the same. And I just need to know one or two people and I can maneuver. Like, that's just what it is. Like, I don't need all the extra stuff. And you know, I take a little bit and I try to do a lot.
Wow.
It's only right.
Well,
and
we definitely
inspired us.
Yeah, we definitely see you. Like, there's things that we talk about, but like talking to you, it's like just freaking do it.
Right.
So many times those ideas, those big plans get put to the side because we're so busy trying to plan it that we don't just put the action towards it. Action speaks volumes.
My mentor, his name is Malik Rashawn. He's from Queens, New York, and he always teach me like, just do the shit, B. Like, just get out there and do it. Like, all that extraness, I don't want to hear it. Like, you got some dudes that's willing to help you with some cars or whatever, let's do it. Like, we went into the hurricane. I went into the hurricane, bro, because I was helping families prepare for the storm. I called Munch, and I'm like, Munch, we finna feed people after the storm. We ain't had no money, no nothing. We showed up the day after the storm. We rode around the community to see what was going on. Tuesday morning, we out there with my girl from my backyard. Like, it just was that simple with me, Munch, and like 2 other people. Then it grew from there. And it's just like, people like, well, where you getting this from? Don't worry about that. Let's show up and we're going to get it done.
Yeah, let's get the manpower on the streets and let's do it.
We didn't know how we were going to feed one person to feeding 22,000 people in 4 days.
That is amazing.
That's commendable.
22,000 people?
Yeah.
Very commendable. Wow. So where can people, like, look up your cause? I know you said Instagram is the best way, but how can people be a part of it? Can they
donate to you?
DM you? Can they donate?
Yeah. So on Facebook, I'm very responsive.
Okay.
My name on Facebook, my first and last name, Valencia Gunder. I don't have nothing to hide. My page is public. So hit me up, follow me. I'm at my friends limit, so I can't accept any more friends, but hit me up on there. Inbox, I check both of the inboxes, you know, the little private ones.
Yeah.
I check both of them. And then Instagram is _Valencia.
Okay.
Hit me up on there. On our website, Make the Homeless Smile, is mthsmile.com.
Okay.
You can donate on there. And I mean, I'm so hood with it. If you need to bring some food and some clothes and stuff out there the day of, you can just show up with it in hand. Only thing I tell you, if your child won't wear it, your child won't eat it, don't bring it to me.
Don't bring it. Make sure it's right.
This is the realest. Like, this is very real. I didn't expect this because I know what I saw on Instagram, but then to hear you say like all that you've done, you only see the pictures. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But when you hear the story, it's just like, okay. Are you looking to get into politics?
People want me to. I'm very, very radical. My mouth really raw and uncut, as y'all see.
Right.
I'm really worse than this when I get in boardrooms. So I don't know yet. Some people think I should because how close and connected I am to the people. But I like to be extremely radical and be able to move the way I want to move. I don't really like a lot of rules.
Okay.
That's why I maneuver the way that I do. So I'm not completely sure yet. I'm playing around with it in my head, but I can't guarantee nobody nothing.
Okay. I mean, but we still see you on the ground doing it, making sure the community is fed, and we appreciate you. And we definitely want to make sure that our audience knows who you are and what you bring to the table. And I think you showed that today.
I know, you definitely showed up. We're going to show you too.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank y'all for having me on.
We out.
Took the road less traveled, and yeah, I'm tired, but
What's up? You already know it's your girl, Just B.
And it's your girl, Vina Nine.
And we are here with our boy Munch in the house. What up?
Definitely one of our supporters and fellow podcasters.
Trappin ain't dead.
Trappin ain't dead.
Another day, another dollar.
Okay. Tell us about the title or the name of the
Trappin ain't
podcast.
dead. Why we did Trappin ain't dead? So I got it from Jeezy.
I was just about to say Young Jeezy.
Shout out to that new album Pressure. I ain't get paid for that, but whatever.
Feel me? Yeah. So Trappin ain't dead was just like, you know how Jesus say Trappin ain't dead, niggas just scared. And then before like Ross came out with like, you know, self-made Boston, you know, Jeezy was doing corporate thugging. So that's what I got attached to, like when I was young, you know what I'm saying, since Thug Motivation 101, so it's just something that just stuck with me.
That was my shit, Thug Motivation 101. To this day, it's a classic for me.
The only thing is you're not talking about the trap, you really talking about the community. And you trapping in the positive way.
Yeah, so the way we do the trap is my environment, right? Or it's our environment. So that we grow up in, and most times when people talk about the trap, we say we gotta take risks and we gotta prosper.
Right.
There's like a little acronym for trapping, almost in a sense. And trapping to us is just our hustle. So your hustle can be different, you know. Y'all just had V up here, V a lobbyist, you know what I'm saying? On the low, you know what I mean? She went to Temple, you know what I mean? But she lobbies, you know what I mean? And that's a different hustle. You know, they bring that bread back to the community. It's the same thing when we talk about it's different. It's a lot of different hustles, a lot of different jobs that's out there that we may or may not know about. So my thing is to shed light on what's happening behind the scenes on the community and what different jobs and opportunities may be out there.
And like Facebook is your like soundboard.
Yeah.
Like, whenever I want to know about something that's going on here, I just go on his Facebook page because he be going in. I think I even joined your live conversation about like a certain community that looks down on us. That it's like, what's really going on?
A lot of times I jump on Facebook. You know, I get a lot of people call me and tell me, "Yo, bro, you tripping." You know, if you want to, you know, level up a little bit, you know, you gotta calm that down a little bit. But to me, I just look at it like, man, I'm voicing my opinion, man. And anytime I come, I never come as an activist. I never come to the board or anybody. I say I'm a resident. You know what I mean? And that's what's most important because you know, as residents, we should know this information. Exactly. But you know, we don't because of lack of education and different things. So with me, I'm just like, let me be the access point. I know a lot more than what the normal resident may know. Let me just say something, and then, you know, it just picked up over time. It's just been picking up. I've been doing this probably since like 2010.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So 7 years strong.
Yeah.
And why you feel like you know more than the normal resident is because you put yourself in that position? Yeah.
Well, one, I listen, and in a lot of situations I was in. So by trade, I'm an audio engineer.
Okay.
So doing live sound. So when we spoke. And a lot of times, I used to be I call it the spider on the wall. Because the fly on the wall, somebody always imagine and see it. The spider is just in the corner, they see the web, they don't see the spider. So I would always be the sound person, but they'll never pay attention. I would sometimes record it, listen to it, go back and listen to what was all said, go look it up myself.
Right.
And it was just wanting to be involved and wanting to know what was actually happening. And then and that was mainly what it was, you know, just being intentional about my business, you know, supporting Black.
So you have a music background, like you said. I don't know what concert. I think I need to use my charger. And I was in your booth, like, yo, let me use it. And then we've been friends since ever since. But you don't see the sound engineer. But I always saw you like in the community or like involved in something that was activist related or community related or around the people that spoke out in the community. Was that a passion that you had as a young child, or like is that something that you just transitioned into?
I think it's something. I would say it's like the evolution of like leadership in a way.
Okay.
Because like I've always been in these small like leadership positions, whether it was the team captain of the football team at Central or different things in high school. Like I always had been in these leadership roles and positions, and it was like, man, I know some shit that nobody else know, and then they really fucking us over in so many words. So it was like, let me be the person to say something, because a lot of times we got too many people not saying nothing. They sit in the meeting for 3 to 6 months, and then when the last 3 months of them 9 months, that 9-month negotiation, you know, when it really get down to the real terms of the contract, in the MOUs, we need the activists and everybody to show up. So that was one of the things, like, you know, I was like, nah, let me be the mouthpiece early.
And you put me up on game about the budget meetings, because you was letting everybody know, like, y'all need to just show up.
Yeah, because, and you know, going back to the thing with V and Hurricane Irma, it was like, me personally, I know I could call their bluff, because I know it's like, we in media and we know messaging, right, and storytelling. And I know nappy-headed Negro talking about Miami-Dade County $6 billion budget is a problem. Because now they're like, who is he?
And why does he know this?
And why does he know this? And how does he know this? And then how does he know, like, you know what I'm saying? Not to mention I'm always in the commission meeting. And I pop up, and then when I show up, I got on shades, I got on the hoodie. I do the same thing. I ain't in suit and tie.
You're just yourself.
I'm just a resident.
Yeah. So everybody's allowed to come to these meetings.
Yeah, everybody's allowed to come to these meetings. It's like the regular general commission is Tuesdays, right, for Miami-Dade County. The city of Miami may have a different meeting, and it may be more convenient for the residents to be there at night. Like most municipalities, like the city of Miami Gardens, I know the city of Miami, majority of the time they have them meetings at like 4 o'clock.
Okay.
In the afternoon. So it's easy for people who have like crazy schedules to set their schedules and say, okay, in the afternoon, 4 o'clock, 6 o'clock, I can get free.
Right.
If I go to work early, I can get off early.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's some of the things that.
Okay, so have you been able to convince your peers to join your movement? Like, how hard is it to talk to people in our own age group? Because I don't think it's not interesting or it's not entertaining enough. It's like, how do we reach people our age to get them this message?
To be honest and to be fair, going back to your thing with the music, I started out in the art club. That was a Ransom, a lot of the camp and a lot of them cats that was around.
Yeah.
So Prez and all them good friends of mine, I've always been like the audio engineer in the background, like, hey, you know, we need to do this, we need to do that. You know, on the activism, to go back to that question. But yeah, it's been a process, but more and more people are starting to hear what we're saying and starting to see it, because Element T is not here. And I said
it's a furniture store.
You get what I'm saying? Element T and Sean Bang and Rozilla, they're my boys, you know what I mean?
Shout out to them.
Shout out to them. And Mark, one of the guys, you know, from C9 with Backroom Sessions. That's how I started. You know what I'm saying?
What was the other one that he did with Joe?
It was another one with Joe. That was at
Eve.
The Rising, yeah.
That was lit.
Yeah, that was the one at Eve, right?
No, it was at Blackbird.
It was at Blackbird, yeah. You're right. That was later. Yeah, but that's some of the things, and getting them, like, they all understand it. Getting them to speak in the music is another thing. It's happening. You know, I would say from 2010 when I started to 2017, it's like more people are now embracing
Slowly
it.
but surely.
Slowly but surely embracing it. You can't expect everybody to kind of like be down with you. Sometimes you just gotta like just go at it and just pound the pavement. People just respect what I'm doing, and they're like, Munch, we support it. You know, we may not be able to come, but we support it. You know, if they, like DJ Lucky C may shout it out or he may repost it.
Right.
I'm thankful. You know, DJ Crunch One, one of the people I started when I did Peace in the Hood. DJ Crunch One supported from day one, you know, and then the whole Street Connect DJs all support, you know, and Killer K and the rest of them.
So you're using the music to get through, like to get get your message through. And
Yeah.
it's filtering down.
Which is smart because those are relationships that you built.
Yeah, relationships I built, over time, and it just, like I said, it's just been a process with me, finding myself in it too, like trying to, figure out like, is this something you really want to do? Like, you really want to be the poster child for this community? Because it was like Minister Society, what's his name, Hakeem? They always get like picked on for being the conscious person.
Yeah.
It's like, do you want to be the poster child? Because you're going to take the heat. You're a target at this point.
Exactly, and then and we do take the heat a lot of times when something happened. They looking at us like, yo, Munch, like what's going on?
That this was this.
And it didn't happen that way. And it's a whole bunch of
So
stuff.
one of the topics that I'm very interested in is how people from the lower ocean levels are moving into Little Haiti because it's higher ground. Tell us how more people are buying those buildings, coming into the community that aren't from the community, and kind of taking the real estate away.
All right, so that's one conversation I've been having for like years, right? So before V started working on behalf of climate change and gun violence and a lot of these different things, this was always a myth in the hood. Like from the Beans, like it was a lady, she came in the Beans a long time ago, told Bo and them, basically old dope boys, y'all need to buy the Beans. And she told them they gonna take it if y'all don't buy it up.
And they ain't buy it.
So, these were some of the things that, and a lot of people don't know about old history. Old dope boys used to own like parts of Northside shopping plaza and all that. They had like clubs and little shopping centers in them. So, but yeah, we sit the highest above. I think Coconut Grove sits at what, like 14 to 16 feet above sea level, and we sit at like 12.
Okay.
So the Poker Bean Project sits at 12.
Yeah.
So by coincidence, there's no coincidence that the mayor came in last year with a $300 million check, and said, hey, this is what we're gonna do for Liberty City. Liberty City Rising is the name of the project, and it's kind of ironic to me that y'all coming here and it's rising, in the same. And then you look at Wynwood and these areas like art. Liberty City is a black art community. It's always been that way. Now they're trying to bring it back. A lot of those artists like Purvis Young and a lot of them, they migrated from Liberty City over there to Wynwood, and a lot of these places they were the first people who built up Wynwood. Wow. So like it's funny to me, like with the whole rising and just to talk about that, like it's ironic that they moved us out of. They moved us. They placed us here.
And now they want to take it back.
They want us to go out because now they was like, oh, we didn't realize we made a mistake by putting y'all here.
Because now our buildings are sinking and our property tax is going down.
But they making the money off the insurance though. Best believe it.
Even in Miami itself, this wasn't a place for people to live. I think they sent people here.
It was always tourism.
No, not even tourism. Like when you come here, because it was like grass and all this. What is that?
Agriculture.
Oh, the March.
It was like it wasn't livable.
It wasn't
so
fertile.
they sent people down here to live, and then they said what people could build, and then it's like, oh, we want this back. We want this back. So it's like we keep proving them wrong of what it is that we're capable of doing. It's like, oh, I see it. Y'all built this. Let me come take it. Let me come take it away.
Yeah, and that's why I brought up LMNT. It's one of them things like. You can't tell me Saturday night when it was the second
Void, man.
The Void wasn't popping.
It was.
You can't tell me.
It's a furniture store. Nobody's buying that much.
Name how many venues that we had popping at that time, like around that 2012, 2014 space. You know what I'm saying? How many venues like just went out?
Well, Grand Central went away.
Grand Central went away.
LMNT. What was the one where
Avenue D where I was working at? The stage is out there.
That's where J. Cole had that dollar.
You get what I'm saying?
Like,
so all those venues are gone.
We only have the hangar,
which has horrible sound. Never mind.
Well, I mean, I did a show at the hangar. The hangar's not that bad.
The venue is great. The sound can use some.
Yeah. You gotta have a sound. You gotta have a sound person. That's the whole.
I think nobody.
That's the whole thing that people they always get twisted. Like they think, oh, a DJ will do it.
No, you always need a sound
engineer. Yeah.
So hire my boy. If you
all like Minds Media, we do it.
So tell us what's next for you.
With Peace in the Hood, open forum, we just trying to move it. We're gonna move it out of the African Heritage Culture Arts Center where we've been. We're gonna move it a little bit more in the community. Try to move it around a little bit, scale out. So we may go to Opalaka, we may go to Miami Gardens.
Right, do a pop-up shop.
Yeah, do pop-ups. Yeah.
That'd be dope.
And just ask real questions about what's going on in the community. What are real issues? Because what I do is literally, I'm like a sponge. I'm gonna take exactly what you tell me, and I'm gonna go spit it right back out to the commissioners in a way that they can understand, like, look, we need these resources because mama over here, she said, lady who a janitor with me, she said this and she in overtime, That's how we was, Facebook was how we was able to get service a lot of the people during Hurricane Irma.
Yeah, that's how I saw it. We weren't here and I'm looking like, damn, they on the ground, like doing it.
Trust me, if we were there, like,
Yeah, we already knew. Like even when I reached out to y'all was like, "What do you need us to do?" Because I think I called it. I was calling like everybody.
Yeah, you did
like,
a mass.
Yeah, like
Facebook Live.
The least we could do was post it.
Yeah. And that's sometimes that's all that matters because the work when we had a lack of communication, we had a lack of energy. So that was a wake up call for everybody. Like, look, this Facebook is all we have.
Right.
So we need to share, and that was really community working. You know what I mean? And just we like literally we was able to service so many. Like it was an apartment complex that had it was 45 units or 40 units that had no that it was elderly folks and they had no AC.
And nobody came to bring them ice.
Nobody came to bring them ice. Same thing with another apartment building that was close to my neighborhood over there across from Dorsey Educational Center. They had the same thing. They had it was elderly, it was women, elders, and children, all in this one complex, and none of them had eaten. And this was like the second day.
Wow. Yeah.
So Opalaka was even worse. You can see it was almost looking like Africa in Opalaka. And what was crazy is the FPNL trucks was parked in Opalaka at Miami-Dade North, but y'all coming to service them last.
So with all that, you gonna keep doing what you're doing. You gonna keep letting the community know, the residents know what's really going on.
Yeah.
What are your future plans for yourself? Aside from audio engineering, we know you do that.
For myself, I'm trying to grow this black media.
Okay.
Build black media with y'all, and just bring more partnerships and collaboration. It's a lot of, opportunities as far as like VCs, and I know I'm like the bridge between knowing who those VCs are and down into the community. So my thing is just to always be the bridge and always, try to make things work and make things happen, and let people know what's going on.
All right. Dope. In any way we can help, we here.
Yeah.
So just keep doing what we doing.
Yeah. So let everybody know where they can follow you. Find out. Put your Facebook on there. Y'all need to follow him on Facebook.
Facebook,
sure.
yeah.
Friend him, whatever they call it.
All right, yeah. Friend me on Facebook. So Facebook is James Mungin, Mungin, Mun like mundane, gin like gin and juice. The second, like Roman numeral. So it's James Mungin the second. On Twitter, Instagram is Machiavelli_Munch. That's MAKAVELLI_MUNCH. And All Like Minds Media, that's ALLIKEMINDS MEDIA. And the podcast, Trappin' Ain't Dead.
Hey.
We on iHeartRadio, SoundCloud. We out.
BET Awards, man, what an honor. Never dreamed I'd do all this before, but you can't put a word up on my art. That's my story, that's my heart, that's my soul. Fuck the fame, keep the glory. Cause I made it out of city that ain't pretty.